Now, how's everyone going? See if I get this set. These damn wired headphones, I absolutely hate them. So I can't adjust the volume like my regular headphones, which got kind of messed up. Anyways, I have a few things I was wanting to discuss today. If I can find my notes. Probably share it to Discord as well, just so people know I'm up. Hey Rafael, how are you getting on? Basically, what I'm trying to set up my shares and shit like that in this. The whole idea of today is like, I don't like how Digimon's kind of being handled at the moment. So I just kind of want to talk about a couple of little bits here and there that I just don't agree with. That I kind of like would like to see done differently. So it's gonna be like basically everything I've listed there in the description. The toys, down to like comics, anime, video games, literally every part of it I feel like has something I want to talk about. Not so much the card game. I think the card game is kind of okay. I mean, it's kind of like it kind of stumbled around a bit there, but I think it's kind of picking up. It's okay now. And where is Twitters? Hey, Batmabel, how are you going? How are you getting on? And Void as well, how are you? Talk about what? I'm just basically just wanting to talk about the entire Digimon franchise. This is like aspects of it in literally all aspects. I don't know. I feel like there's a few things that like are kind of like people are just letting it kind of fly. Even Bandai are kind of like just sitting back. I feel like. I think it's more so to do on the Japanese division, to be honest. I feel like when the US or UK, when they get something, they try their best to push it. I mean, like, I say they try. If we're talking about toys, it's like they fumble the bag so many times. But as far as like video games and stuff and merchandise that does come out, they're fairly on top of when it does come out. But it's down to getting licensing and stuff. I'll get a bit more into it as I go. Where the hell? I've learned how to Twitter. I don't Twitter much. I go on Twitter every few few hours, kind of like have a gawk, see what's going on, and then say, oh, well, people are complaining about shit today, and then I don't touch Twitter again. And that's basically my relationship with Twitter. So I don't even know how to use the fucking thing, and I have it for years. Skidok. Okay, there we go. Hey, Nightblade, how are you getting on? I got all Digimon games on Switch. I actually enjoy the Switch for Digimon games. I'll talk again. I want to talk about a whole lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of things going on with Digimon video games. Is the one thing I want to talk about the most. I had a whole video set up for all the stuff I wanted to talk about today. Is like, it's gonna take forever to do these videos individually. I'm just gonna come on here, just like kind of talk shit about it, have a complete like dialogue with you guys about it, get everyone else's opinion, just see if I'm kind of like, am I looking at this shit wrong or what's going on? But yeah, that's basically it. So we'll quickly just see who we have here. We have Rafael. How are you getting on? We got Salty. I've seen Jonathan up there, Batmabel, Void, and Howling Sphinx. How are you getting on? And Nightblade and Anthony's Game Shell. How are you? So yeah, that's pretty much the most of it. Digimon card game is 4x7 card game. In US, so they handle it well at least. Oh yeah, the Digimon card game, I have the least amount of bad things to say. Actually, I don't think I can say anything bad. I don't play it competitively enough to know if they're doing that, and that's horrendous. I remember when BT 2 or 3 came out. Was it BT 2 or 3? No, it was EX 2 or 3. Where the set, what was that set that had like Chaosmon or Chaosdramon or whatever was on there, and it's like they had to like basically just redo all the dialogue and all the cars or whatever. Everything was needed to be rerun. Anyways, I'll get into all that in a sec. Hey, Rescue Squad, how you getting on? So yeah, I have a few points written down here, so I'm gonna quickly go through them. First up, as I have, is anime, and the anime is the one I have the biggest issue with. The anime for me, I used to love Digimon anime, so the Digimon anime for me was this experience where you got to see all the stuff going on. It was like between all these kids. There's a lot of, it was like, as a kid you could relate to a lot of the problems that the kids were going through, as well as the story as well. The story was always very compelling. The end of every week, I would always be like, oh damn, why to end there? Because I wanted to see what happened the next week. And it's like, when I watched Ghost Game, I didn't get that feeling at all. And same with like 2020 as well, which I want to kind of like go in on them later on. Bill, how are you getting on? But yeah, it's just, I don't know. They've lost their way somewhere with the anime. I'm kind of gonna blame Atmon on this, okay? Even though it's not necessarily Atmon's fault. So Atmon is the last time they put out a great season. But the problem was, when they came out with Atmon, what they done was they tried to rebrand to the point where they wanted to make it for a different... Tamers was amazing. Tamers I absolutely love. Tamers is one of my favorite seasons. I always struggle to pick between season 1 and 3. But Tamers is awesome. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, so when Atmon came out, you remember, like, they even had a different developer come in and do the games and stuff. Like, they were really trying to branch out. They wanted Atmon to be this huge thing, which unfortunately it just flopped. And I can take issue with them for one interview they done where it says that Atmon was supposed to be something that was so like different to separate the fan base in a way, so that they can make more mature content through Digimon and have Atmon be that child-friendly stuff, which Atmon not necessarily child-friendly. It's essentially the regular Digimon stuff that we got, so it didn't really come as off-brand. It was just the fact that they named it Appmon. Even though Digimon was in the name there, it had Digimon Universe in the name. Hey, Huggy Wuggy, how are you getting on? So it still had Digimon in the name, and it still feels like a Digimon season. They renamed a few of the like terms or whatever, so it's like there's no Digimon, there's no Digivolution or none of this, but it is still Digimon. You could watch it as a Digimon fan and see it as a Digimon season. I'm here, Traxinator. Hey, how are you, Jonathan? But yeah, that's the last time that they actually put any effort in, I feel, for writing a Digimon season. It was the last time that I kind of like, I still haven't finished Atmon, but that's just me with anime. I kind of like jump in and jump out, but Atmon was the last one that actually caught my attention and made me want to watch as much of it as I would. When Atmon finished, I feel like that's when Digimon kind of went on almost like a hiatus or whatever, and then we eventually got 2020. But before 2020, oh my god, I want to talk about Troy, because Troy comes to mind now. Troy sucked. Okay, I kind of like the idea of Troy. When Troy was coming out, it was like, we haven't seen a Digimon anime come out over here for so long. Cross Wars did come out as Fusion, but Fusion, I could see why people like it, but it just wasn't for me. So when I seen Troy was coming out, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking coming back to adventure. That's awesome. But because there was 6 movies, I felt like I got burnt out on it. So that was my issue with Troy. That, and as far as like, I think it was after the 3rd movie, I can't remember shit. I can remember the first couple of movies. The first 3 movies I can remember most of. The last 3 I struggled to stay awake when I was watching them. As much hype as I had for Troy, I just couldn't. Troy started strong, but it lost its weight. Yeah. After the 3rd movie, no. It was like, it was supposed to be like this huge thing when they got to the digital world. It felt like they got to the digital world. It was like, okay, what the fuck? It was like, it's not the same. It's kind of like it's lost its magic. It's tried to be like too mature in some ways as well, which kind of caught me off guard. I don't know, again, just not really for me. I couldn't sit with it. They followed up again with Kizuna. I mean, great. It's more Thai. I feel like this is where the burnout for adventure really came around. It was like more Thai. Do you know, people are kind of sick of adventure at this point. It's like, can you do something with something else? And it's gotta be the basis of my like arguments today, is just nostalgia. Nostalgia has kind of like taken over a whole lot of different things in media in general, but for Digimon, man, it's like Digimon just, I don't know if it's like a lack of confidence in like the brand or what, but it's like there's so much like leaning on nostalgia to push Digimon. It's getting kind of ridiculous. Digimon used to have like, Digimon used to be this thing. It was like, it was so unique, and everything it done was like, it was always kind of like innovate and do something different with the whole monster rays and stuff. But god damn, it was like there, as soon as like the 15th anniversary came around, they done this reboot. I'll get into the games, but you could even see the games kind of rebooted. Everything they done for the 15th anniversary really reset what Digimon was and brought it back to what it used to be. And it's like, we've been living in that era since, and we're over 11 years doing this now. It gets to the point where you kind of have to think, what's going on here? Now there's a few things where I'm trying to see where the problems are, and I'll get into that again later on. It's like, I have all this kind of like mapped out for where certain things kind of slot in the whole fucking time frame. But as far as the anime, as soon as Atmon finished and people had kind of seen Atmon was like, this isn't Digimon, and then it kind of split. And the only reason I feel like if they had to call Atmon Digimon, I don't think people would have had a problem at all. I think it's the fact that they try to push it as Atmon and not Digimon, because that was literally the whole basis behind it. That's what made it fall off. Like the card game, the Atmon card game had all the stuff from Digimon on the cards. If you look at any Atmon card, they look like a Digimon card. If you look at the video game, the Atmon video game like kind of feels like a Digimon card game kind of situation. I've done a few videos on that on the channel here, if you want to kind of like check them out or whatever later on. But I have a few bits done like that where I kind of like play through that, and it feels like a Monster Razor kind of like Digimon style game. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily something different, even though it kind of is. The anime, again, is the whole thing was just literally Digimon. It was Digimon. Now, I don't know what happened, but 2020 came out, and that was like, oh shit, people remember Tai. Let's do Tai. But let's not just do Tai, let's kick it off with our war game. Because people will remember our war game. It's like our best movie. Digimon movie is like, our war game is the movie everybody knows. And it's like, no, it was so... As hyped as I was, I absolutely, like, when I seen 2020, I was really fucking excited to see it. The Digivice looked exactly like Season 1. It was like, I know it's supposed to be a reboot or whatever, okay? But I feel like they handled it wrong. They shouldn't have done a reboot. They should have made it be its own thing. They made it, actually, you know, they shouldn't have done it at all. Should have done something different. But yeah, 2020 sucked. Joe was stuck in a fucking a pool somewhere. I don't even know how half them got to the digital world, to be honest. It's just that forgettable of a season. Then to go off from there, I watched Atmon for like 5 episodes and I gave up, couldn't get into it. I know, I kind of liked it. It seems like a couple of things. I'm sorry I'm not like following chat here properly. I will be getting into some dialogue, which is at the end there. But it's just kind of like, before I start forgetting my place, I'll be here forever. So I was just trying to do chat away. Read your points. I'll probably be flying through all this, trying to come back and pick up points anyways. But no, what happened was like, with 2020, it's like they really wanted to fucking... Yeah, I was thinking they were trying... What was it? I was thinking of trying 2022. So, okay, so 2020, they were too much like, oh my god, fucking, there's all this nostalgia for Digimon. Let's go back to doing this. And it's something about adventure. I don't know what it is, but Bandai just feels like that's exactly where the audience sits. The audience loves adventure. I don't think that's necessarily the case though. I mean, like, people have been burnt out on adventure for so long. If you even look at all the Digimon that are the starters in the games and stuff, people have been sick of adventure for so long. Everyone's been saying it, like, it's like, do something, please, do something different. Now, in Cyber Sleuth, oh fuck, I'll get on to games again. This is the worst thing with me. I'll jump all over the place. Yeah, then we got Ghost Game after 2020. And Ghost Game is no. Ghost Game had the premise to be one of the best seasons. It was dark, it was gritty, it was like the characters that it had involved. Ghost Game was literally setting itself up to be the best season of Digimon, but the fact it got so episodic, and the reason was so dumb. The reason was, the writer says that they didn't think the audience had the attention span for a more like convoluted story, I suppose. It's like, that's just fucking insulting. So as soon as I seen that, because they released this, like, I think it was halfway through or something. As soon as I seen that, I was like, oh, okay, it was like, this isn't what I think it was. Like, you could nearly cut all the filler out of Ghost Game, and it'd probably be like 5 episodes long, and even then there's only like snippets inside those episodes that actually had like story that kind of like contributed to the whole series. I'm not a fan of Ghost Game. I know a lot of people love Ghost Game, but it's just no. It's not. It's not what Digimon is. There was a couple of times where the characters started to get like this, some sort of like character development, and it's just by next episode you could fucking forget it. It was like it didn't happen at all. Like when Kyoshiro was going through the shopping mall or whatever, and it was like I think he was like saving this little girl or something. He was like he got a little bit braver, and then it was like. Nothing happened. It was the episode after that. He was just a pussy again. It was like it didn't really matter. Roast game, yes. I don't know what it was. It's like when they went in there with the mentality that is like people don't have an attention span for a long series and make Ghost Game the longest Digimon season we've ever got, but the longest season full of fuck all. It's like no. It's like that's not what Digimon is. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I just couldn't get into it. Adventures the Kanto of Digimon. Digimon has the exact same problem. Pokemon is... Yeah, no, that's... I can see that for sure. And yeah, I know the outrage for Kanto. I love Kanto, personally. But again, I do get sick of seeing Charmander in every fucking game. But... to talk... sorry, I will get sidetracked. To keep on Digimon, though, and Ghost Game, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, I couldn't get into it. There's some great Digimon. There's some fucking really cool moments. What was that Digimon in the Flower episode, one of the early on ones, where it basically was fucking offed itself? That episode was like so dark. So it was like they could do some great writing. There was like elements of some fantastic writing in there, and what they could have done if they had made the whole 68 episodes or whatever and make it this like one cohesive story, that could have been like I said, it could have been the best season of Digimon we'd ever seen. But unfortunately, they just couldn't see past that. Scriptless tracks with going on just notes is pretty great. I used to do all my videos like this. I no scripts. I wouldn't even have bullet points. I have bullet points because there's so much I want to talk about and trying to keep myself on track. It's literally just scribbles. So that's literally what's happening here. But thank you. But yeah, coming off of Ghost Game, then we're coming back to 2020, and 2020 is getting a release over here. It's getting a dub. Ghost Game's supposed to be getting a dub as well. That got leaked. I'll talk about that in a sec. But 2020 was getting released over here, and this is the dumb thing. I don't know what possessed them to do this, but to have fucking 2020 come out and it's like a Microsoft digital download thing only, and it costs like you to buy it in sections, and overall it's gonna cost you over 100 quid. Who the fuck thought that up? Because that's the most asinine bullshit I've ever seen. I don't understand what the problem was there. It's like in the age of streaming, okay, when everything is on a streaming service to watch, why not Crunchyroll? Why not fucking Netflix or whoever? Any of them. There's so many. There's a fucking plethora of streaming services out there, and they chose to sell each season or parts of the season in almost like I brought it before, almost like a fucking VHS. Buy a fucking set of 5 episodes or some shit kind of bullshit. What possessed them to do that? Is that just dumb? Now hopefully it's not too late, obviously, so hopefully we'll start to see they'll come out here and they say, okay, well, let's put it on a streaming service, because that's obviously the more popular thing. I'm hoping that that's going to be the case. They just want to make some money off it really quick by having it as an exclusive like this for a while, which I still think that's a dumb thing to do, because the amount of people that were looking forward to 2020, not everyone loves Digimon subbed, by the way. A lot of people who grew up with Digimon, they want it dubbed. That's just the way it is, okay? I don't mind subbed, but I would prefer watch some dubbed shit as well, okay? The dubs are just dumb, but they're dumb and fun. You know, it's like if you go back and watch some of the earlier shit with them fucking idiotic jokes in there, that's some of the best Digimon stuff. That's the charm of the old Digimon season. And I was kind of expected but hoped to see something like that when 2020 came over here. But again, the fact that they done it this way is just... it blows my fucking mind that they thought that was a good idea. Now, Ghost Game is getting a dub, apparently. I think I seen like it was leaked there by some convention. They had the voice actor for Wezengamamon or something was shown. I can't remember his name. Can't remember what he looked like even. I just seen it passing while I was on fucking Twitter one day. And yeah, Ghost Game seems to be getting dubbed. Now, I hope they don't handle it this way. Now, if it's something like they have some sort of a deal with Microsoft, that like Digimon seasons, the next few Digimon seasons are gonna come out like this. They go exclusive to Microsoft first. I will not be a happy motherfucker at all. No, I want to watch this shit when it comes out. Now, in fairness, I probably won't rewatch Ghost Game. I haven't got the fucking heart to do that to myself again. I actually, the first time I followed the Digimon season in so long was Ghost Game, because I enjoyed some of the episodes in there. It had some great episodes. When Ghost Game was on its fucking ups, it had ups. When it was fucking downs, jeez, it was... I couldn't stick it. Some episodes I had to skip past to get to the end, just see if there was anything there. Bad release game wouldn't be the end of the world if the series was at least good enough to be worth the pirate. See, the thing is, I know in the day of the internet or whatever, a lot of people look to like pirate or whatever. It's not me. I prefer kind of like support the artists or whatever that work on this stuff. So that's kind of like the way. That's just me. I mean, that's just the way I am. But I mean, fucking people are gonna do what they want to do. But you bring up a good point though. Is like it's not even worth pirating. it's just shit. I don't know if you're talking about 2020 or 20. Yeah, you're talking about 2020. It's like no, 2020 wasn't a great season at all. Better make a streaming service for these kind of shows. To be honest, with so many streaming services, I am so sick to death of streaming services. This is another rant I could do another time. To be honest, as Ghost Game has some of the highest highs and the lowest lows in a long while, honestly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, but it was just a shame that is like the lows outweigh the highs by tenfold. There was no way Ghost Game was gonna be that good when it had that many fucking episodes full of nothing. Sorry, I just want to check my levels here, just make sure everything's alright. Yeah, let me know if the music in the background is still there or not, because it's fucking deafening. Seekers. That's the next point I have. So, Seekers. Oh, and mangas and shit. Okay, I'll get onto that in a sec, because the manga tournament is actually kind of like closing. They had like competition for fans to write in and send their own forms of the manga in. I'll get into that in a second. Talk about Seekers though. I'm in two minds for Seekers. I like the idea behind it. The idea of like releasing as like a light novel or whatever it is that they're putting out for people. My issue with Seekers at the moment is that there's not enough... Audio's fine. Thank you very much, guys. My issue with Seekers is it's a lot of nothing comes out. Like I'm only on like part 4 or 5. I can't remember. I'm kind of like catching up as soon as I get time. I'll sit down and read. I don't always get time to sit down and read. Hence, I haven't done my Seekers videos in a while. But the way Seekers is handled, I feel like they should just wait until they have a full chapter. I think they announced it a little bit too early because obviously they're still writing as each week goes on or whatever, I feel like. And also the way it's written. Oh my god, the way it's written is like, no. Gotta work, catch the VOD. Hey, no worries, Anthony. I'll see you again. Thank you. But the way Seekers is written, I've seen so many people say it's like a fucking AI chatbot wrote the fucking thing. And I can't disagree. The amount of times when I'm reading it on stream, for the first couple of times I'd stop reading it on stream because I kind of struggle with reading. It makes me very fucking self-conscious or whatever. So blah blah, fuck that shit. I says no, I'm not gonna read it on stream no more. So I read to myself, and then I'll kind of like record it, edit, upload it. Now, the way it's the way it's actually written makes me struggle to read it even more, just because of like how the AI chatbot kind of like AI chatbot. It's an AI translation basically is what it feels like, and it's like some words fit where they shouldn't fit is the way they're on screen. It's just like it just makes no sense. Sometimes I have to like reread some things a couple of times. It's like just try and make sense and realize, oh shit, that word shouldn't be there, it should be this word. So even when I went and read them for my own audio reading, it was kind of like I had to remix words or whatever, fucking move words around or change words or whatever to make things make sense. And again, that's just not fun to read. It's not a fun experience. It really takes you out of the experience, especially yeah, chapter 1 part 10. I just seen that there the other day. I think you've posted it on Discord. Thank you. But yeah, no, it's the way they were saying they're gonna focus on chapter 1 and just release it in parts or whatever, and then they're gonna have chapter 2 release in full or whatever. I don't like this setup. I feel like they should, at this point, we should have got chapter 2 or 3. I feel like chapter 1's been going on for so long, and every single time it comes up, they focus on one thing in that like part. Is like, so it was like the first one was the coffee shop, and we just heard about a coffee shop. The second part was the college or whatever. The third part was just the discussion about Digimon and this big AI kind of like fucking thing or whatever. It's just it's not very eventful, and that's what kind of makes me lose interest. I feel like they need to do more. If I'm sitting down to read a book, okay, let's say no fucking Harry Potter. If I sit down and read a fucking Harry Potter book in the corner, it's like I want to read that motherfucker and just like binge that shit. I'm in to sit down and read. That's what I want to do. I could spend a couple of hours reading, okay, but when you give me like 20 minutes worth of material to read, 15 minutes, whatever the fuck it is, it's like I struggle to remember what the fuck comes up when the next week comes around. It's like, okay, what happened last week? I need to get a lot at one point to be able to focus on that. And then if I have a lot, I can kind of jump back and forth in every couple of days as well if I don't get time to read. So that way, by the time the next chapter comes out, I'm still reading it little bits at a time. And I can remember without having to go and fucking, oh, what happened there? Let me just turn back over and check that out. But yeah, that's my issues with Seekers. Seekers isn't the worst so far. I'm not saying it's a fucking awful series. I just wish it was released in bigger chunks. But this is where this is kind of like with the mangas. It feels like Digimon's out of ideas, and this could be like the problem as to why we're seeing so much nostalgia. When they says they're doing a fan competition to get a fan to write up a manga and like write the manga for them, that made me feel like almost like they're just out of ideas completely. It's like they don't know what to do. I'm not gonna lie, it's like they've lacked the confidence of what to do with the series. I know Digimon is one of these franchises that love to get the fans involved in pretty much everything, from designing monsters, naming monsters, all this stuff. It's like Digimon is great for fan integration into the franchise. But when they says that they wanted the fans to completely write up a whole series, it's like, why? Are they actually out of ideas? Like that's why when I look at the anime and I see what's going on there, it's like, fuck, are they? Because the anime is kind of like 2020 was so repetitive and pulling so much from the original series, but then also not doing anything. And Ghost Game had nothing, and then they says it's like they weren't bothered because of the fucking attention spans or whatever. It's like, it makes me feel like they actually are out of ideas. If I look at toys or whatever is like coming out, how many fucking DM20s have we got? I don't want fan fiction. Yeah, I want something made up from like the guys that were in charge of all this Digimon shit. Not to say fans can't write good stuff. Look, fans have made some of the best shit for Digimon. Look at the fucking fake Digimon that people make, you know, their own OCs or whatever. But it's like, I want to see what Bandai can do with it. They're kind of like the creators of this. Come on, I mean, it's like, have they not got any ideas left? That's basically what's wrong here. I don't know if they have any ideas left, and that's probably why we keep going on this nostalgia circle, and they're probably sick of it themselves, and they're like, okay, well, you guys help us out. I don't know. That's I hope they're letting fans write it. Azure said it would be able to write something to be let use the lore Bible. Well, hopefully I'd say she should be. Honestly though, it's like, it feels like Digimon in a sense though, the whole franchise for the last few years has been pretty much ran on like the hopes and dreams of the fans that won't lie. Like, it's just because like we had to get the Digimon games back over. It's like when Vpets are coming over, every time something gets released in Japan, we have to fucking beg to get it brought out and released over here. And it's like, if we don't do this, it's like it would clearly die. Because it's like they say, oh, there's no fucking hope for this to do well over there, even though Digimon is a massive name. It's got that brand recognition, you know. It's like more so than any other like monster raising franchise that was out back in the 90s besides Pokemon. It's like Metabots died off. There's not a whole lot of people remember Metabots. There's not a whole lot of people remember Monster Rancher. Digimon and Pokemon were the two that kind of like everyone remembers. Everyone, if you bring up Digimon, Pokemon comes up. If you talk about Pokemon, somewhere down the line, Digimon's gonna pop up in conversation as well. So yeah, it just feels like there's that disconnect now where Bandai are like, nah, fuck it, you know, let them ask for it if they want it, because I'm not gonna bother to send it over. Like, look at the fucking, I don't want to get into, actually toys are coming up anyway, so I may as well go into it now. To talk about the VB. The VB, we begged for that to come over here for so long. at the end of the life cycle of the second wave of the VB, they come over and give us the second wave. They gave us the Digivice V in the form of, what was it, the Vital Hero or whatever. And they only gave us like a handful of dims. They gave us like what, like 6 dims, and we'd never seen anything else for it again. That was it. It's like, come on. I don't know. I feel like it was such a half-ass effort. Now there's talks about like the BE being sold over here, but I don't know about if it's gonna be like a localization, or if it's just gonna be on premium Bandai, or what's it, Bandai UK or whatever. Those Bandai Shop UK or whatever, which is like the British version of premium Bandai. It feels so off. And then the BE is a mess in itself. The app, the launch of the BE was kind of cool. A lot of people were like, oh damn, this thing is awesome, but the app sucks so bad. They need to reconnect with the fans and people and all thing. That's the problem. I know Bandai, having spoke to some of the people that are in there and part of the Digimon team, I know there's people in there that absolutely love Digimon, but I don't think they're high enough to be able to do much about that, you know. I'm not too sure, but it's like there are fans of Digimon within Bandai, and it's just such a shame that I don't feel like they're in charge of what gets put out over here, what's localized, and that's the unfortunate thing, because there's some great ideas for Digimon. I've picked up, because I want to do a video on it, is the Super Cross Wars. That's a game we never got over here. We never got, I'm not diving into games just yet, we never got Super Cross Wars over here. We never got fucking Lost Evolution. There's a plethora of fucking PS1 games we never got. Version S, whatever it was, Bandai just doesn't feel confident, and never has really felt confident in Digimon in Europe. Okay, when Digimon World 2, I'm going off on a tangent for a second, but fuck it, I'll come back. When Digimon World 2 released over in America, okay, we never got it over here in Europe, so much to the point that they actually had to rename Digimon World 3. We didn't get Adventure PSP. There's so much games we didn't get. Again, this is gonna be a rant for the game section, but yeah, it just feels like they've lost hope in some. No Wonder Swans, Rio games. We never really had a Wonder Swan. That was a Bandai product for Asia and Japan, so I don't mind too much about that, although the argument can be made, because there were Wonder Swan games that got ported to the GBA, so I can kind of see your point on that. Yeah, because I would have loved to have gotten some of them other games brought over here, like Digimon Medley, the Rio games, like you're saying there, the card game, Hyper Coliseum. How much shitty card games, while I'm in the toy section, how many shitty card games did they give us when they were sitting on Hyper Coliseum? Hyper Coliseum, I absolutely love that game. I still sit down and play it every now and again on the Wonder Swan. And they gave us all these other shitty card games. Now finally we've got a card game that's sticking, and it's actually one that's sticking globally, which is actually really cool, because it makes it feel like there's an actual card scene. And it's actually, someone says to me there, it was like the 4th best-selling card game in the US at the moment. So I'm so happy. I have a fucking box of this shit. I have so much fucking Digimon cards. I was playing it myself for a bit competitively as well. It's a really fun game. I actually love it, but again, they're falling down by not having a simulator for it, you know, like a virtual version of the game. And I feel like in this day and age, you need to have that. If you're making a card game, you need that. And it's just, it doesn't have that, despite fans screaming and crying for that shit for fucking a couple of years now, since its release, since before its release. Hyper Coliseum should getting TCG games. No, I'd love to see a return of Hyper Coliseum as far as like a game for the PlayStation or something like that. Kind of like what they done with Digital Card Battle, where it was its own thing. I wouldn't mind if they done something like that, where Hyper Coliseum did get some sort of a video game version. Maybe not to take over the new card game, because I do kind of prefer the new card game to Hyper Coliseum. But I still think Hyper Coliseum deserves some sort of a spot where it is, especially when they still kind of release cards. I don't know if they still do, but they were up until a couple of years ago. They're releasing cards in the same kind of like for Hyper Coliseum, but they were just like promo stuff, but they're always really fucking expensive. I don't know, it's just a weird kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, like, that's the one good thing we have going in Digimon at the moment, is the card game, and it's one thing I do praise, because like even now every set kind of pushes it. I know it's more to make more money or whatever, but that's what you expect when you get into a card game. It's like they have this new correct me if I'm fucking wrong, I haven't played it in about 2 or 3 months, is like that fucking new Ace stuff or whatever. What's the new gimmick they have? I've seen some Tyrannomon card or something coming out with it on it. I can't remember exactly what the gimmick's called, but they are constantly trying to be a bit more innovative with the card game. The card game, don't get me wrong, it's based in nostalgia as well. Look at the chase cards. The chase cards are all callbacks. The art is all callbacks. But I don't mind that because the game is still all fresh. But it's just kind of like little nods and reminders to stuff from the franchise, which I feel like you still have to have. For a series that's going as long as Digimon, you have to have little nods and kind of like pay respect to what came before as well. I do really appreciate that. Yeah, something fans can really get behind. It's something like the artists enjoy doing as well. I love seeing Kenji's work when Kenji kind of comes in and does like redraws of some of his old shit. It's like that stuff is amazing. I absolutely love it. Sebastiano, how are you getting on? Love the artwork. Oh, the artwork is just fucking awesome. I feel like it was, what's this new one, BT11 or whatever. That's the last set I got. I actually loved the art in them. I actually literally just picked up BT11. I've been away for months in the card game. I picked up BT11 because again it was harkening back to the video games. But yeah, to jump back into other toys, then we've got stuff like the fucking Vpets. Okay, we still haven't got DMX3. What the fuck is up with that? Why have we not got DMX3? We've gotten so many different versions. I believe we even got more versions of the DM20th. We didn't even get the revival, which is in another DM20th, so I don't mind too much. We've had like what, like 15, fucking 20, 100 versions of the DM20, and we haven't seen the DMX3. We're getting a new DM20, but it's got like Kenji's art on it, which I can kind of see for collectors. That's really sick, but we don't need it. The version colors, I've been playing with these guys for a bit. I enjoy these, but still the version color didn't need to happen either. They should have done another device in color. Import the X3. Yeah, I imported the X3 a long time as well. Had to complete the story. Yeah, no, I was importing the DMXs. I actually got doubles of the original DMX as well. Like, so I've got an English one here and I've got the Japanese one as well. But yeah, I was importing them as well, all the way up to DMX3. So because I didn't think that we were gonna get them at all. I think DMX 1 or 2 would come out by the time we actually got DM20 over here in the West. But again, it was like we had to beg for that shit. And do they want us to beg for DMX3? I mean, like, even when DMX2 dropped, oh, they dropped the ball here in the West because they fucked up the roster. They switched the roster or whatever. I don't know. There's so much, like, this isn't me just going in on Digimon. I know it feels like me going in on Digimon. The idea of this is I just want to get a dialogue going because I feel like there's some issues that are just, like, so overlooked now by fans just because, oh, I remember this is nostalgic for me. Digimon's a cool brand, but I mean, like, if it's gonna keep recycling the same shit all the time, people are gonna get sick of it. Even last week, I was kind of hyped for them myself, I will say, is the version 3, 4, and 5. But at the same time, I'm looking, I'm like, come on. How many version 3, 4, 5, 1, 2s or whatever, how many of these do we actually need? It's not... I want Digimon to go back to what they're doing. I've the fucking book there somewhere. All the different devices. If I had the camera facing now, I'd go through it and show some of the different devices. But it's like all the different devices that Digimon came out with all these years ago. The Digimon Twin, DXL, the fucking... Oh, what's the fucking... I'm terrible with the names of these because they fall out of my head. The fucking Penix. Penix. Penzi is kind of like a pendulum again. Sorry, I'm gonna get water because holy fuck. 2 seconds. No, because I thought I was gonna fucking choke to death there. Second there, no. Where's my headphones? So yeah, we had the DMX fucking the DM20. We've got so many different versions of the DM20. I feel like myself, I'm not alone in this. I think a lot of people are sick of it. I'm going back looking. Do you know what? I'm going because I'm gonna forget these names. Right, just kind of gotta go through. This is like their fucking anniversary book. This is some merchandise they released recently, which I do enjoy. This I think is a cool book. If you're a fan of like Digimon devices or whatever, this is actually awesome. I do recommend jump back and try and pick this up. What was this? Pendulum Progress. This fucking DXL I've seen, DRs and stuff. Now these are more so the Digivices, or the DRs, the fucking original Digivices. But again, it's like they were always just so fucking different. Everything's the same now, and it's like that's what bothers me the most now. It's like all innovation is just gone. What the fuck did I just see there? That was a twin. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a twin actually. Let's hold it up there. I don't know if you can see that. That's the twin there. It's basically you'd have two devices or whatever, lock on the side or whatever. But see, that's what I'm saying. Is like that innovation from the brand is just gone. It feels hard Digimon Color to get a commercial release. I don't know. Digimon Color feels to me like it's more of a collector's thing. It's like a more premium release or whatever. That's what the Digimon Color feels like to me. I don't think they're gonna like go all in, kind of like fucking, I don't know. Hopefully they'd bring it over here, but I don't think it's gonna be like something that's gonna be mass produced like the DM20s. Honestly, for the BE, the marketing team really suck. Yeah, talking about the BE actually, I didn't go in I didn't go in on the BE as much as I fucking want to be honest. The BE has pissed me off so much. The BE is not a cheap device to pick up. Again, you get all your DIMMs or whatever. It's fairly expensive. Try and keep up with the competition and all. It gets very pricey. Okay, but the app just sucks. The app sucks so fucking hard, I swear. I've tried to like it, okay? I've stopped wearing my BE. I'm going back to my fucking Samsung watch. Okay, here's the thing, okay? I haven't wore this since the VB came out. That's a few years now. And now I was like, fuck this. I'm going back to the gym, getting this shit done. And I was like, fuck the Digimon. No, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with the VB no more. I just lost all interest in it. So yeah, I don't know. The BE, great ideas for the device. I absolutely love it. It's like another like device, Digivice or whatever, where you walk like a pedometer kind of thing. Has the adventure modes and all that. I absolutely love that. Okay, even having like the fact that you can raise the Digimon in there. It's got like proper Vpet, not proper, but like somewhat proper Vpet mechanics in there, where like the different requirements needed for different Digimon to digivolve them. That's a really cool thing. I absolutely love that. But the fucking execution is god awful. I fucking can't stand it. I don't know. It's like the app is so busted. The last event they actually postponed again, and then fucking cancelled because the app is so busted. Now we're to get an update. I think it's like next week or something. I think Jonathan was telling me before. Which I am excited for, but I'm kind of like cautiously optimistic, because this could really make the app great, or it could fuck it up even more. Okay, because we're gonna be getting team battles. There's gonna be like adventure modes. There's a couple of bits going on there, which will make the app so much better if they work. But holy fuck, they better work. This is kind of like my last hurrah for the fucking VB. Is the reason I've not covered as much VB stuff on the channel anymore. It's just I can't get myself into it anymore. So I don't know if they can fix this up, I might stick with it for a bit longer. But I don't know. I think they made a huge mistake by cancelling VB Labs. They should have just worked on VB Labs and kind of like kept that going the way it was. My theory as to why they done that was because they wanted it all under the Bandai Namco name. And I think it was Chorizo's the name of the company that was developing VB Labs. I think they wanted it okay. It's like, let's pull them out of it and let's keep it all under Bandai Namco, so all the profit is for ourselves. Everything's in house. I've nothing against that, but you better fucking make it work. okay? Especially when it's like when you're expecting people to like buy all this shit. How many fucking BEMs, DIMs, whatever, how many of this shit are they releasing? How many Bs or VBs or whatever, how many of them are they releasing? And it's like, when it's all reliant on an app that needs to function, you have to make sure it's working. You have to. So yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much my whole thing on the B. I'm kind of like staying out of it for now. Is like I'm not picking up no more stuff until I see if the app's kind of like fixed or not. Cause I don't know. I can't really get behind it if it's as busted as what it seems like now. I mean, like the fact how many people have been locked out of their accounts and kind of like they still haven't fixed that, and that's been an issue since December or something. It's like that's been an ongoing issue that they're aware of as well, I'd say, because how many people fucking get at them on Twitter is just ridiculous. Moving on to the bit that I wanted to talk about the most. Video games is like this. I feel like there's something huge coming with the video games. They're just setting it up, okay? So this is, I really wanted to cover a video on this, but I feel like the dialogue for this is probably going to be a lot more fun, so I figured I'd do it this way. So with video games, okay, I see Bandai leaving us high and dry with the B in a year or two, going on to the next thing. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, because they have this new anime, it's kind of after taking over the B. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I see the B as more of like a Digimon device, but it's kind of like they're trying to pull Digimon away from it and separate it in a way, just in how they're trying to market it towards different anime or whatever. I know that's trying to get more fans from those anime to come onto Digimon, because stuff like the adventure mode is only coming to Digimon. I don't know. Why does it take so long for them to parts of their IP that fans clamour for the most? It feels like there should be a more direct line of communication between the community and them. That's the problem, is there really isn't. There isn't. It's kind of like, even for us to get Digimon games over here, we had to make sure that we had to get a shit ton of us, like 50, 60,000 of us, to sign up a petition that Habu by chance seen and got Digimon back over here. In fact, the first Digimon game that came over here, Habu went out of his way to develop it exclusively for here, and that was All-Star Rumble. It's like, I don't know how many people are aware of that, but Habu worked on All-Star Rumble for here. That never came out anywhere else. Habu was working on Cybersuit at this time, and probably Survive as well. Let's face it, he was probably writing Survive as well at that point or whatever, because he was probably doing his interviews. I know he was talking to the writers for the original Digimon Adventure, trying to get a feel for Digimon back then. So yeah, you never know what he was working on, but he took his time out of that to help market Digimon over here with All-Star Rumble. So I have huge respect for Habu, just because how much love and it's kind of like just dedication to Digimon he has, and what Digimon has been, but he doesn't shit on it when he makes something. I feel like the way Bandai come around here with like a billion fucking DM20s, like, fuck it, they'll buy it again. It's like, that's a little bit disrespectful in a way, I think. It's just kind of like making Digimon to a giant fucking cash cow, which I don't think it really ever is. At least video games are now selling at least at the levels of Digimon World 1 and 2. That is true. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say actually, was going back to... I kind of want to set the scene here a little bit by just going back to 2012, okay? So 2012 is where the 15th anniversary for Digimon really kicked off, okay? This is before the petitions came around to Habu, okay? So around here, there was like this reset, this kind of like fucking great reset for the whole fucking franchise. Like I said, when Tri and all this came around, they wanted to really reboot Digimon in a way, and that included the video games. So the video games went back to basics with Digimon World, and that's why we got redigitized. Is because Habu was like, okay, something has to work here, because the DS games weren't selling. The DS games were starting to suck. No one was really trying to pick up on them. They even pulled the DS games from us after Championship, because Championship just sold so poorly. And yeah, so they says, fuck it, let's go back to basics. Habu was on board, I think, since Lost Evolution, I want to say. Could be Lost Evolution or Super Cross Wars, one or the other. But Habu got behind the development for Redigitize, and he wanted to recapture what Digimon was. So he says, okay, Digimon World, highest selling game, fuck it, let's go back to basics, let's do this. Now, people loved Redigitize, but not only that, but I think it was another team was working on it. But again, a year after, not even a year after Redigitize, we got Adventure, okay? Now, even when Redigitize came out, there was fans fucking clamoring for this fucking thing. Fans really, really wanted to Redigitize. Because, let's not face it, like Rafal was saying, Digimon World 1 and 2, highest selling Digimon games we've ever fucking had. Okay? A Digimon Color is basically a Vital Bracelet BE with a Vpet. If you already have the Vital Bracelet, is getting the Digimon Color necessary. Okay, so I was just talking about Digimon Color earlier. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I love the Digimon Color. I'm not sure how I feel. I love it. But, okay, so I love it. I've got a couple of them here, okay? I'm running version 1 and 2. I picked them up as a collector, okay? Because, like, I'm not going to collect the whole set. But I wanted to have one just because I'm a collector. But I feel like if you have a DM20, if you have a DMOG, I don't feel like the Digimon Color is necessary. And that's just because the only thing it really adds for me is the colored sprites. That's pretty much it. Okay? If you need Shinmonzimon color. Yeah, there's the Shinmonzimon thing as well. But I mean, I really don't understand it. No, I feel like they handled the color wrong. I feel like I think Batmobile, what they were talking about was just the BEM, so it was like the 25th anniversary BEM. I think that's what Raymond's trying to talk about. I think he's trying to make the link between that, which I can kind of see, to be fair, because both of them were released, which actually was fun because they had Kenji's art in colour for the black and white sprites on the BEM, and also having the colour come with the black and white drawing from Kenji. So yeah, I can kind of see where he's trying to link the two. But yeah, go back to the games. The games are really starting to pick up. Okay, so we've got Redigitized, and it's like fans are really wanting this, so that everyone gets together to make a petition. The petition fucking flops. Okay, no one fucking signs it. No one heard about it. Okay. Fast forward a bit. We get decodes coming out on the 3DS. Now, we had no fucking hope of getting Adventure or Redigitize because they're on the PSP. PSP was pretty much a dead system at this point over here in the West because even the Vita was dying at this point. So now we've got the 3DS and it's getting decode. This is our fucking chance to get a Digimon game. Okay, this is where people are going to be fucking focused. Okay, because 3DS, massive system. Believe me, or fucking correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's one of the highest sold fucking whatever. It's sold some of the highest amount of consoles or some shit. I could be wrong, but I feel like it probably was. So yeah, the 3DS fucking, it was definitely a shot. The Vita was a cool console. I actually have my Vita here. I was playing Next Order on there because I like playing the old Next Order. Next Order is kind of different. I'll get into that again in a bit. But yeah, we have fucking Decode. Finally, okay, fans get their fucking heads together. We start talking. We go on these different forums. Fucking social media is a little bit more kind of like we all start to know each other a little bit better, and we kind of like fucking can communicate a little bit better through social media to share this petition. YouTubers starting to share this petition. Who the fuck? I think it was Lynn and Co. I used to watch because I think Lynn actually picked up the. I think Co got her. They've deleted the video since, but Co actually got her the Digimon Decode game. Now these are Japanese YouTubers I used to watch years back when Decode came out. I remember this was a Japanese YouTuber that shared the petition and was like saying, look, fans in the West really want this, so please help them get it, sign the petition or whatever. So I mean, it was amazing that Japanese YouTubers are really trying to help us out as well. It's like it was fucking, I can't remember the guy's name, Francesco something. The petition is still up on change.org, I think, if you try to look for it. But you probably find it. Humbasa? I can't remember his fucking name. Fuck it, it's gone. But yeah, big respect for that guy because he had all this shit planned. Anyways, fast forward to where Habu actually sees the petition. And he's like, do you know what? Fuck it. These guys want a game. I'm going to do them a game. And here comes All-Star Rumble. We got All-Star Rumble. And we didn't expect this game to sell. No one expected this game to sell at all, okay? Because it looked like ass, it played like ass. There was no online, no nothing, okay? But it sold obviously well enough and we got Cyber Suit. Now, here's where I want you to keep an eye, okay? So we got Redigitize, we got Adventure, then we got a port, okay? So keep that in mind, okay? We got a port after 2 games. Next, okay, we get Cyber Suit, we get Next Order. And then we've got, what was the fucking thing? Hacker's Memory. So I'll count Cyber Suit and Hacker's Memory as one fucking game because let's face it, they're pretty much the same fucking thing. They get a port. After those 3 games, we get a port. Okay. Now the thing that we have to take note about the ports is every time we get a port, it comes to another system. Okay, so the port for Redigitize came to a more modern system, the 3DS. The port for the Cybersuit came to, instead of like the Vita, which is another dying system, or even the PS4, which actually was not dying at the time, that came to Steam and PC. Okay, so you can see Bandai are using these ports smart. They're using them to try and like branch out. The reason the PS4 never got a port was because the Digimon games were already on there. Okay, so that's why they never bothered to do like a collected version for them. After this, we get Survive, and now we get our last port. We get our next order. Okay, now the problem is, okay, if you look from Survive, so you don't want to support Seekers with Lugamon. You know about the BEM? I'd like to support Seekers. Okay. the BE, nah. I'm done. I'm good for now. I actually cancelled my Lugamon order there a couple of weeks ago because it's like, no, I can't, because I don't see the BE being as successful as what I thought it was going to be. I don't think it's worth investing into it at the moment because I feel like they're just gonna pretty much cut it and we just won't have it. But yeah, when we got where was I? Yeah, we got Survive, and then we get our last port, and that's for Next Order. Now, if you look, we had an Xbox release on Survive, okay? Can someone look up the sales numbers? Raph, I think you're normally fairly good for this. Can you look up the sales numbers for Survive? And if you can see how much is sold on Xbox in comparison to PS4, Switch, and Steam. Because something must have happened. Because Next Order didn't come out on Xbox. Now, unless it was being developed or something, they just didn't have that in the plan, and maybe because it released so soon after Survive, it's kind of like it was just an oversight. Maybe the next games, because I feel like now all Digimon games are going to be all over the place. The smart to expand Digimon games, Switch and PC, those places have it. That's what I'm saying. So this is why we got very repetitive games. I know so many people have been pissed off about this, okay? So this is leading up to my final point. So many people have been pissed off about how made its top 20 for sure on Xbox. I remember that for a little bit, but I'm not sure how much the final sales were. That's what I'm hoping to try and figure out here, because I feel like if it didn't sell well, that's probably why we never got Next Order on there. The other reason we probably got Next Order on the Xbox is probably because Next Order is being developed alongside Survive in its last year or two, and that's probably another reason as to why we didn't see it. So it's probably just they just didn't think about it, as the previous port just never went to there. Digimon is full of unlimited potential in all games at all types of crossover. So yeah, that's it. I actually had a video I was wanting to do today. I just didn't get around to it because I felt like I wanted to kind of talk about this. But it's just some Digimon game ideas that I had for fucking game. It's just a dumb fucking YouTuber video. I don't like to do YouTuber videos necessarily. I kind of like to do deep dives on stuff more so, and kind of like take my time putting out videos. But I figured because YouTube likes to fucking kick me in the ass every now and again, their fucking algorithm, I have to do some dumb YouTuber shit every now and again. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is like the whole branching out or whatever. That's what they're trying to do with the video games division. They're smart because they're trying to build a fan base. Every time a new Digimon game comes out, new people that I've never seen interact with the Digimon community are kind of like, what the fuck? Digimon's still a thing? Digimon's got a new game? What the fuck? I remember this from years ago or whatever. It's always sparking something that brings someone back. And then there's some people that are just brand new and it's like, what the fuck is a Digimon? The amount of people as well that I've spoken to over this channel, like in comment sections or whatever, that fed into the bullshit with Pokemon versus Digimon and just like, oh, Digimon's a knockoff, and come back over years later to try out Digimon. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck did I miss out on? It's madness. It's fucking madness to see how many people like fell for that. But I don't know. In one hand, I'm kind of like, I'm glad to see everyone come back. I wish Digimon never had to go through all that shit years ago, because I feel like we'd be in a much better place. Survive sold 500k. It didn't release platform sales, but looking at public stats, Switch and PC were the best selling systems for they came. Oh, I get you. Yeah, I can see Switch for sure, because Switch is like, that's pretty much everyone's playing their fucking stuff. Same with PC. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if probably, like Jonathan was saying there, 20, I don't know how long it stayed in the top 20, but the fact that it did sell so well I would like to think it's just an oversight that we never got Next Order over on Xbox, which is a shame because the amount of people that are still asking Digimon games on Twitter for an Xbox port is mad. Next Order and Cyber Sleuth Collection plus Survive, as they're at the moment, are a great foundation for future games. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, fucking. I had dinner earlier and I swear the fuck is fucking up my throat, and it was especially because I haven't streamed in so long, where I'm talking constantly in this kind of style. It's kind of like, it's killing my throat to fucking talk. No worry, for a new game, those types of comments like Digimon is still a thing, or like people living under a rock. Yep, see, the thing is, Digimon isn't marketed. This is another point, is like Digimon isn't marketed great at all. Okay, look at Digimon games on Twitter. Okay, they kept marketing Next Order as, oh my god, it's a port, it's got a run button. You know, I said it to them one day. I was like, nah, don't do that. You're only marketing it towards people that bought the game already. That's not where your money is. Your money is on new fans. You want to bring in new fans. It was like literally listed through in a tweet. Is like the fucking, what was it? Talk about build a city. Talk about a fucking camping. Talk about this, that. I got a couple of replies. People asking, what the fuck is camping? There's camping in this game. What the fuck is that? You know, people that just never knew or played the game before. A couple of days later, they start talking about how there's camping and shit in it. And then look at the fucking replies. People are like talking and commenting about that. It's like, what the fuck? You know, so I mean, like, they don't know how to market Digimon. That's the problem with the Digimon games over here in the West. They don't know how to market the game. They're too focused on who played the game before. And that's again tying into Digimon is built on nostalgia. And they think the audience is built on nostalgia. So everyone is like in the audience. They don't see it grow. It doesn't seem like. It seems like they're just like, everyone's been here for the long haul. The people have played and experienced everything, because we're still getting games. When you think about it, we're still getting games that we got in 2016, like fucking what, 8 years ago or whatever. We're still getting games from then. That's kind of mad. Digimon show up at the game conventions. I've started to see it come up. Actually, E3 is where Survive is shown off. So yeah, they've started to do it. So I remember I think it was at the Nintendo section or was it Bandai section, I can't remember. But it was E3 2018 or 2019. Sorry, my fucking throat's getting caught up here. But that's where Digimon got shown off first. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fucking cool to see that. They had the trailers, like I think that was probably one of the first times we heard about it. And it was like the fucking music. I love the soundtrack of Survive. It's absolutely awesome. People buying Survive without reading it. eShop subscription thing is just generic RPG. I know, the poor bastards. That's why I went in on wood that day. I went in on wood. It's fucking that don't sound right. No, I fucking ranted about fucking beat 'em ups one day because the way he handled the Survive thing, just because like he's such a massive channel, it's like turn off people from Digimon because he didn't read into the game and tries to push it in a fucking thing about scams as well and titles. No, I didn't like it. I didn't like what he done there at all. It seemed like he was just calling Digimon a scam. Not that it caught his fucking attention, because there's a tiny motherfucker over here who's never gonna be fucking. But I mean, my old thing with that video was just kind of like, I wanted to at least get some information out for people that would have been following Digimon. You know, I was like, this is something different. Do try it. I think it's sort of a problem that they're, or at least I have not seen them, as the advertisements have already released Digimon games. There's nothing like going on an adventure with Digimon by now, and that's the problem. That's the fucking problem. Look at Next Order, the perfect fucking thing to say, oh, here, have an adventure with your Digimon. Next Order is the perfect game to advertise an adventure with your Digimon in the digital world. Who the fuck doesn't want that? And they say, we've got run buttons. I don't know. I think they're really shooting themselves in the foot in terms of the marketing team. I think they need to kind of like sit down and kind of have a long think about this shit. Because it's not doing great for the franchise themselves. And again, this is down to nostalgia and all. The whole kind of rant I had all fucking day. Nostalgia for Digimon is just, there's too much of a focus on it. They need to stop. They need to get a bit more innovative. They had something with Ghost Game until they fucked it up. They had something with Ghost Game. The amount of people that really want the season 2 of Ghost Game as well, even though they didn't try, that speaks volumes. I would love to see if they do a movie, like an OVA or the fucking fucking season 2 for Ghost Game. I'd love to see them lay into a fucking story. That would be awesome. and you can run faster next order. That's pretty much all they fucking said. That was my problem. Every tweet, we can run. You can play it on easy mode and you can run. That was the only fucking thing they hyped up about it. They had an announcement saying that. It's like, no. The announcement... Okay, so if I was handling Digimon, okay, I would love to be on the marketing team for this shit. I'm not great at marketing. I could sell, but I'm not great at marketing, okay? But if I was on the marketing team for Digimon, I think I could do well. So, when they come out with their announcement for Digimon World Next Order, that was a surprise announcement, by the way. So, when they come out and they announced Digimon World Next Order, and they just spent, like, I think it was like a 2 or 3 minute, like, trailer, or 2 or 3 minute kind of discussion, just showing the game being played, where it says, oh, easy mode, run button, that was it. They literally, what they should have done there was just mark it as Revisit Digital World, okay? That don't matter. If you say Revisit Digital World, for people that played it already, they're seeing it as a port. For people that haven't seen it, it's a sequel to Digimon World, okay? People that haven't seen it, that's the way they're going to think. The other thing about that, though, is that you're going to talk about the different stuff in the game. People that played it already know what's in this game. But the people that haven't aren't going to fucking know anything. So that's where you bring in, there's camping, there's build a city, there's Digivolution, there's fucking Vpet mechanics, feed your Digimon. They didn't speak about any of this, and that's the problem. Especially when that day, Digimon started trending on Twitter. I think they trended for a couple of days, okay? That's when they had their catch. That's when they should have been fucking selling that game, do you know? They messed up from not starting and ending part of the story earlier than it did. Yeah. Ghost Game ended so fucking abruptly. I mean, I thought, I was like, is this for real? What the fuck is this ending? I didn't know it was the ending. I was like, what? And then it kind of led on for something else, but it was just empty. It was like an open ending. Some people said it was a scam. I felt like people are pushing Digimon video games to become a generic Pokemon alternative without experimental spin-offs. That's another video I had planned for months. I just haven't got around to it. So if you remember, I done a video about an article that was comparing Digimon games to Pokemon games. This is me. I'm probably going to cut all this now because I'm just going to be answering questions here anyways. So if you just have anything, write down in the chat there. I'm going to try and keep up. But yeah, if you remember back in January, I posted a video kind of going through an old article where some dickhead was ranting about how everything ripped off Pokemon. I've been wanting to do a video kind of discussing this and the whole term of Pokemon clone, because the term Pokemon clone wrecks my fucking head. So that's something I wanted to do for a while as well. Yeah, I don't know, it's just fucking annoying. I don't like how you don't call every fucking beat 'em up a fucking Streets of Rage clone. Do you know? I don't get it. And the price put a lot of people off. For Next Order, it did. I think the pricing was off the mark as well. I think I said that before in my video. I think it was if it was a new game for you, okay? If it was a new game, you haven't played Digimon, I think the price would be okay. But I think if you're someone who's coming in for the port and you have played the game already, I don't think the price is worth it. But for someone brand new to the game, I feel like, yeah, it's worth it for the new experience. That's going to be fun mini for everyone. I bet it was going to top 10 for sure. Which one? Sorry, I'm fucking all over the place here. Switch version was worse reviews than the old PS4 version. That was already low. Okay, so here's the problem, okay? When they do ports, the ports never sell as well. I spoke about this with Raph before. Look at the sales for Decode compared to Redigitize. Decode, by far the best fucking Digimon game out of the two, okay? If not in the whole series. Okay, Decode done so much, added so much new shit to it, okay? It's practically a different game. But Decode sold nowhere near as many numbers as Redigitize did. Now, I feel this is probably why we never got Decode as well. SMT, the original Pokemon clone. That's the problem. It's like the lines are blurred there because people are giving out. It's like, oh, Pokemon was first to do it. People is just like, no. People were kids back then, okay? What were they, like maybe fucking 5, 6 or whatever? 8 years old most. I would have been maybe like 6 or 7 when Pokemon came out. And yeah, they wouldn't have known about SMT. They wouldn't have known about Dragon Quest V. They wouldn't know about any of the original monster raising games. So their introduction was Pokemon. And that's where Pokemon Clone came from. I remember being a kid in school. It was like, you got fucking bullied for liking Digimon. Do you know? It was like, that's just a fucking rip-off. And that's all you got fucking heard about. It was like, fucking bullied in school enough without having to fucking like Digimon as well. But, fuck that. No, it's like, that's where the whole Pokemon Clone comes from. People aren't aware of SMT. And if they are nowadays, they just fucking neglect to say it. They don't care anymore. Even kids nowadays, it's like they still think Pokemon is the only fucking monster raising game, which it's a genre. It's not a fucking rip off. It's the genre. Every monster raising game that's come out, like back then, Metabots, Digimon, Monster Rancher, Pokemon, 4 different games, 4 completely different play styles, and no one ever brings that up. I even read a magazine. I was going through retro magazines or something that I read, and they were like comparing Monster Rancher, Pokemon, and Metabots and all this. And they were talking about how like they all ripped off Pokemon. It's like, this is a Pokemon fan that wrote this. Why are these people fucking? Oh no, it was just annoying. Dragon Warrior Monsters was my favorite Pokemon clone. There you go. It's like I actually, you brought up Dragon Warrior. I know you're saying that as a joke. I literally, that retro magazine, I have it somewhere around there. They were talking about Dragon Warrior Monsters was a rip off of Pokemon. They actually had it down there as a rip off Pokemon. I don't know. I don't get the shit. I don't get it. I don't understand the rivalry. As a kid, I enjoyed both Pokemon and Digimon at the same time. Both offered different... That's it! Yeah, I never got to play the video games of Pokemon. My actually first monster raising video game was Digimon World. Probably why I have such a fucking affinity to that. This is like why I love Digimon so much. It's just because that was my introduction to monster raising. But yeah, again, it's like... I enjoyed both. I watched the anime. I used to play Pokemon Silver at a friend's house. Again, he'd never let me fucking play very far in the game. It was only in one area he'd let me run around and catch Pokemon or whatever. But that would be it. But yeah, no, I was like, I was a fan of both. I still kind of am a fan of both. I lean more towards Digimon, but Pokemon was still cool. I still enjoyed Pokemon. I wish we got outdated 3DS version of Dragon Quest. Updated 3DS versions of Dragon Quest Monsters 1 2. I would actually see, here's my problem. I wouldn't mind getting some of those older side games or whatever from Dragon Quest brought out again. I've recently only trying to get into Dragon Quest. I think it was Electra, you probably see around there in the chat sometimes, actually recommended a Dragon Quest game to me before. I picked it up and been playing it on and off. Dragon Quest 11 I feel like it is. I've been having a ball with it, so I kind of want to go back and check out the rest of the series. Every monster raising game is a philosophical rip-off of SMT, Pokemon, or Digimon. Well, I mean, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's like, it's dumb. Rivalry back then was so dumb. Actually, I don't know. See, it was... How do I word this? Rivalry was kind of like... That's what video games are made off of in the 90s. Like, Nintendo is what Nintendo... Or fucking... What was it? Fucking Genesis does what Nintendo don't. All this shit, okay? There was a huge fucking rivalry between Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, if you remember that as well, okay? There was so much shit. It was like everyone was saying, oh, this copy this copy this. You know, it was like... What was this? What was the one? Everything was like the Final Fantasy killer. I think it was Grandia. People were advertising Grandia as like it was the Final Fantasy killer because Final Fantasy 7 was like the best game ever, and everything was like a rip off of Final Fantasy when Final Fantasy 7 came out. Every RPG was a rip off. So I don't know. That was just video game culture back then, but that was mostly among the heads, the corporate kind of heads of all this stuff. The fans were just fucking happy to have video games. Me, I remember, I was like, I had a Sega, my friend had a fucking Nintendo. I used to go around to his house and play Nintendo all the time. It's like, I'd be just itching to see what fucking games the Nintendo had, because they were always so different to what the Sega had. And he'd be the same when he wanted to come over and see some of the games I had, because the Sega was so different from Nintendo, you see. It's like, all this stuff, I feel like in around the Pokemon era, where people, I'm not saying Pokemon started this, but I feel like around the time that Pokemon games came out is where people kind of really went in on each other over what fucking consoles they had, especially then when the Xbox came out and people had a PS2, but then people got an Xbox. It was like, oh no, the fucking PS2 is best. And that's where all this like console wars bullshit kind of started up, was in around that era. I don't know, it was just really fucking dumb. It made no fucking sense. I still don't understand console wars. I think it's the dumbest shit ever. Just get the fucking plastic box that has the games you like. Enjoy. There was a tangent. Do you think people evolve their mentality in 30 years? No. No. How could they do that? Evolution isn't the thing. Man, World 2 has so many flaws, but it's my favorite Digimon game at the time. Since I was introduced to SMT, I realized similarities in their RPG mechanics, but still both are enjoyable. Okay, here's my fucking thing with World 2. I'm sorry, my Digimon is screaming for food because I'm a very neglectful tamer. I'm sorry. And actually, I must say, oh, you're frozen. Okay, that's fine. Actually, I'm gonna freeze you as well because I'll be going to work tomorrow and I will forget and I'll have you dead. Right. So yeah, Digimon World 2. I like the idea of Digimon World 2. I love the Digibeetle. That's my favorite thing about Digimon World 2. But actually playing the game, I kind of struggle to enjoy it. And that's because one, we're missing a massive feature. There's like one feature from Digimon World 2 was we were supposed to be able to raise stuff on the Pocket Station to actually be able to bring those to World 2, and that would have like took down the grind so much in Digimon World 2. It was like, would have made the game so much easier. But Sony at the last second pulled the plug on the Pocket Station in the West and we never got it. So if you play World 2, I think your one that you talk to that gives you a Digimon from the Pocket Station, or that link, is actually removed from the game. Now there's probably some sort of a action replay kind of code that you can probably get back. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's unfortunately what happened there, so we never actually got that. Some games didn't do that. Final Fantasy 8 didn't do that. I believe there's an action replay as well to get Street Fighter 3 to be able to use a Pocket Station as well. There's a few games that still can use a Pocket Station. But yeah, Digimon World 2, they just pulled it completely and it's ridiculous. A lot of good video ideas here. I know, there's fucking some great stuff actually. Some great talking points there. It's like, retro game is something I really want to dive into. I wrote a video for retro game. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but I don't know, it's a game I've been playing with my kid a lot. Is Virtual Bart. I don't know if anyone's aware of some of the Simpsons games, but I was playing that a lot. And it's kind of just one of them games that I loved as a kid. So I kind of wrote up a video. I was trying to record it and post it for Saturday or Friday this week. I just didn't get it done in time. So I said, fuck it. Because I want some content going on the channel this week, I said we'll do the stream here. Now again, I'm going to be chopping and cutting here. It's about just over an hour long. I might cut the last like 15-20 minutes or whatever. But yeah, no, there's some great ideas here. We'll probably fucking do something if you are interested in retro stuff. It's something I really want to dive into, so let me know. Any games you want me to have a look at. After this update, I wanted an apology for the BE. I mean, like, I'm looking forward to it. I won't say I'm not, but at the same time, it's like, if this update isn't good, I'm deleting the fucking VB Arena off my phone. I'm sorry. I mean, all Digimon story games sort of use World 2 as the base and improved on. I can see that, but I feel like it's more so World 3, because World 3 has. I feel like if World 3 got an open world, we would literally have Digimon World 3 but on a larger scale. If Digimon Story got an open world, we have World 3 on a larger scale. Digimon World 2, while I liked it, okay, it lacked the worlds that I wanted to be able to explore. It was all just fucking hallways. I didn't like that. I have to go now, but it was a fun conversation. Have a good stream. Hey, Batmable, thank you very much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you again. Have a good evening, night, or morning, or whatever you're having. But yeah, I'll see you. Definitely need to get your reaction to try and raise a chow. Oh yeah, I started streaming that game months ago and I haven't played it since. I could definitely do that. Fuck yeah. I mean, like, I've done some Vpet shit over here, so I may as well. It kind of fits, so fuck it. Yeah, I'll do that. I might skip the whole, because I could probably talk about Sonic, couldn't I? Fuck it. If because I'm trying to tie in any retro stuff that comes out, just try and boost it in the algorithm. I'm gonna try and time it with releases. So I have a Zelda video I want to work on. I'm gonna hopefully tie that into release around the same time as Breath of the Wild 2. The North Square video I want for Final Fantasy 16. There's a couple of things I have going in with that I'm trying to plan. So yeah, if a Sonic thing comes up, I'll try and get a Chow thing sorted. I'll have it marked down here somewhere, and I'll try to remember. But yeah, I know you've been asking for that for a while. See what else? I just got, because it says I want to jump up because I missed so much of the conversation here when I was talking bollocks as well. Let's see. Sorry, Huggy Wuggy Head here. I agree. They build Ghost game hype very high, but stop the series on a wrong time. Many platforms. Yes, no, that's just going back to Ghost game. That was a fucking huge thing. That confused the shit out of me. So we were watching, like, I think it was episode 67. I think is where I stopped. Could be 68. I don't know. But the last 2 episodes had to fit like 50 episodes worth of shit in there. But they don't, to be fair, they only had like 5 key episodes and they couldn't even tie them up nicely. It's like 20 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. It's just way too much. I don't know. I didn't like it. Ghost game, like I says, had the potential, but they fucked it. See, no. I didn't talk much about the card game, but to be fair, like the card game is something that I feel like they're doing okay with. I don't feel like there was much to be said about that. I beg and grovel and whatever Bandai wants if they just give us even a few more scraps. But the way Bandai treats its products, I'm more of a fan of the community than the company. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, like, to be fair, like the Digimon franchises, I was Sebastiano, who I'm replying to here. But yeah, I kind of see that is. The fan base is what keeps the Digimon franchise afloat, and that's unfortunate. That is not the way you want a company kind of like to go, because if the fan base gets sick of your product, if the majority of the fan base gets sick of your product, you can't even pick up the pieces. Who are you going to market it to? Because no one's paying attention. So you have to kind of like, they have to learn to innovate and get out there and just start to like really push it to other people. I feel like Digimon Color is salty. I feel like Digimon Color more lean on premium Bandai cash and a hardcore player. They want to see it in color. If you see some of the Bandai video, that thinks some JP fans wants to. Oh yeah, so I get what you're saying. I kind of said this as well, as kind of like where it's more of a premium product. It's a collectible, but the fact that they put time into like making this such a big thing, like the Digimon Color, it's like, oh no, I don't think it needed it. I feel like the Digimon Color, do you know what, I don't think it needed to happen. We've had so much like anniversary versions of the original Digimon. I don't think the color was necessary. I think what they should have done was they should have had a brand new device completely in color. That's what we should have got. Upcoming Sonic thing. Sonic has a free story DLC for Sonic Frontiers coming up. It's going to be getting big during play. Okay, let me know when that is. Actually, fuck it, I'll look it up after this and I'll try and start getting something done there. Because the Simpsons thing that it says that I'm working on is already scripted and I was like half recorded, but I mean, it's not something I'm in a rush to come out with because there's nothing really coming out for Simpsons. It's just something that I was kind of like doing for a laugh. But yeah, the version color, nah, didn't need to happen. I don't think. I think that, yeah, like you're saying, it's just like milk it, just to get more money. I think if SMT and Digimon crossover would be full on mind blowing awesome. That actually would work though, Cosmic. That would actually fucking work because Survive borrows so much from Devil Survivor. I feel that it just makes sense. Same with Cybersuit. When Cybersuit came out first, I remember so many people saying that is literally just a Persona, kind of like, not a knockoff, but it's something similar to Persona. I was very inspired by that. I think some people were also comparing it to Final Fantasy 2 for some reason. So yeah, I think definitely, yeah, I think that's something that I would love to see, is a crossover with SMT and Digimon, just because of like how dark they are, especially with Survive. The SMT and Digimon just Survive, that would be an awesome crossover. I'd love to see a Digimon crossover with Metabots like in the West here, but that again, we have to see what Imagineer's doing with their fucking case they have going to get the trademark for Metabots back. Hopefully they get it. One new Vpets. I'm gonna love my colors though. I like the colors. Like I said, I love fucking around with them. But I would have preferred to see something like the XL or Digimon Twin or something even brand new. Just give us new ideas. That's what I want to see. I can't wait to play the playable character story. Playable character story on the kind of like the fan thought up crossover of SMT and Digimon. I seen something here. What was that? I think they need to remake Ghost Game after episode 10. I think they need to just cut out all the bullshit. That's what I think. Have like a 6 episode season I'll be there for it. I'll watch it. I don't mind. Ghost Game was dragged on way too long. I don't think it had any business being that long. Anyways, look, I'll take a few last questions or comments. I'll read through them, and then I'm probably gonna jump off because I have to be working a couple of hours. I need to get a bit of sleep. It's starting to get late. At this point, we ought to go fund Humanos and Psionic to make us a Vpet. I actually, oh damn, I can't remember his name. But he's dropped by chat a couple of times. There's actually a few fans that are actually making their own Vpets for Digimon, and they've some fucking great ideas. But yeah, Humanos and Psionic. I don't know. I watched some of Humanos stuff, but I'm not too aware of how he is with like Vpets and stuff. How good he is with like that shit. I know I've heard of Psionic again. I don't know the whole like Vpet community. As much as I love the Vpets, I very rarely mix with the Vpet community, and it's nothing bad. It's just I don't know, just don't have much time to mix with communities. So that's why I have the channel here, just kind of like bring the community to me so I can talk to them. Because I struggle to fucking go out and kind of like mix in different communities. I know, fucking awkward. But yeah, no, I mean, like, Humanos and Psionic, I'm sure they could do something. How about you take my BE? How about I take your BE? I mean, fuck it. I'll take your BE. I don't mind. But I feel like you'll miss it. And talking about Sonic thing, I was mentioning as a good reason to cover the Chow Garden when they say play character stories. Oh, okay. Wait, hang on, wait. They're talking about. Oh, okay. Play the character stories from Sonic Adventure. Oh, I get you. Okay, so that's something I tried to do. I like Sonic Adventure 1. I'm not like big into it, but I can enjoy it when I play it. Okay. As far as like Sonic Adventure 2, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Knuckles and Rouge levels I fucking hate. I can't get behind them at all. I hate them all together. The Tails and that Robotnik robot or whatever, I didn't like them either. They're just like that fucking blip just annoys me. Bandai should get Dragon Rod to make a Vpet and pay Family to bring Dawn Dust 2.0 to current consoles. I actually wouldn't. Do you know what? I'm looking forward to Dawn Dust 2.0. I've seen some of the sprite work they've done. It looks fucking amazing. Dragon Rod's working on some fucking fantastic games. I have to give him a little bit more kind of like representation over here in the channel, because goddamn he works on some fucking great stuff there. Sonic Master Modder, Humanos, the man with the guides, both understand was better than Bandai. Oh yeah, definitely. No, I get what you're saying now. I was wondering what like Humanos is like. Humanos coding? What? Because I wasn't sure if he did or didn't. But yeah, no, as far as like guides and stuff, yeah, he'd have all the tips and tricks of like how certain Digimon would digivolve, stuff like in the OG Digimon where you'd feed them or wake them up at night. That would actually be kind of sick to bring back stuff like that. I think Digimon has been falling upwards these past couple of years between the Weird Adventure reboot. Yeah, it's kind of like it's fucking up. I was like, hey, we're growing somehow. Let's keep fucking up and hopefully we grow some more. Yeah, I can see that. There are upcoming Vpet inspired indie games by Digimon and Sonic. Oh fuck! Let me know because I'll have a look at those. Have you seen the fan remake of Digimon World in Unreal Engine? I seen a couple of remakes. I wanted to do. This is something I fucking planned ages ago. I asked about it on Twitter. I asked for some recommendations of like Digimon fan games or whatever that I wanted to cover on the channel. I never got around to it, but it was in a Discord server before for like 2 different Digimon remakes. Yeah, I definitely have a look at them, but I think the Unreal Engine one is probably the one I'm thinking of. I think it's been in development for a couple of years now. But yeah, I think that's that one. I haven't actually played. I think I played it when it was in alpha. I don't know how far along they are now, but it was like very early on. I happen to know True Cosmic is a big fan. As big Sonic fan, I know they've asked Ian Flynn a few questions on his podcast, as have I. I haven't actually paid attention to Sonic in a while. I actually started watching Sonic Prime with my kid. He's getting mad into Sonic. That's why I've been playing so much Sega lately. But he's getting mad into Sonic, so I kind of been doing a lot of stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. I might jump into the old Sonic Chow Gardens and see what's going on over there for that DLC that you're telling me about. Bandai should pay Niantic to upgrade the app. No, not Niantic. Get Niantic the fuck away from the app. They'll just litter it with fucking the microtransaction. Give it back to the old guys. The guys who have VB Labs. Give it back to them. Let them work on it. They doing a fantastic job. They kept us updated the whole way. I meant to say this earlier. When VB Labs was out, we were kept updated the entire fucking time. When raids were coming, when raids were delayed, when battles were delayed, all this stuff, they kept us in the loop. Bandai aren't doing that. Digimon Hatchery, shout out, check the website for guys. There's a Discord. Oh yeah, I'm actually in the Discord. I spoke to Humanos as well a couple of times. I was just not aware of like his hobbies or whatever. I understand like he does the guides or whatever. That's pretty much all I know from that point with Humanos. But yeah, no, I'm aware of Humanos. But yeah, no, thanks. Charlotte. I don't know. I was fucking. This is where I need glasses. My computer's way over there. I'm trying to fucking read. Niantic's making a beautiful Monster Hunter game. No, I don't trust Niantic at all. I don't like what they're doing with Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go was good, and then they fucked it. How did they fuck up the best game in the world? I don't know, but they did. I've played new Digimon TCG. It's quite enjoyable, unless you play competitively with the VB series. I like the VB series too, but there's nothing to do with those Digimon. I have played the card games. I've got a whole fucking box of them here. I've got several boxes. What have I got? Is it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I've about 12 boxes of Digimon cards. Yeah, I have a couple of decks. I've played it. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I just want them to have a digital version of it. If Evomon Evomon, I think I remember you saying this, and getting content updates and Poglings, I never heard of that one, is developments inspired by Chow Garden in Sonic. Oh fuck yeah, fuck it, yeah, Evomon, I remember you saying that to me before. I'll have a look at them. Anyways, it's getting late, I'm gonna have to go to bed. I might chop the last half an hour or so off of this, because I wanted to be able, like, for people to be able to come in and just kind of share their opinions or whatever. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. Really, really appreciate it. I'll see you again. Bye bye.